In this video, we will learn about projectile and the motion followed by the projectile. An object thrown obliquely into the space is termed as projectile, provided no other force should act on it except the force of gravity. Once the object is projected into the space, no other force should act on it except the force of gravity. Here, we are neglecting the force of friction exerted by the atmosphere. Obliquely meaning neither horizontally nor vertically. So, an object thrown into the space at an angle in between 0 and 90 degree, that will be termed as projectile. And the object must have the two components of velocity during its journey. So these are the two very important criteria which an object has to fulfill, then only it will be termed as projectile. One is no other force except the force of gravity should act on it during its journey, and other is it must have the two components of velocity during its journey. Example, a ball thrown from the top of the building. It is termed as projectile. An object released from the aeroplane, it is termed as projectile. An object thrown from the window of a running car, it is a projectile. Javelin thrown by an athlete, it is termed as projectile. But whether a rocket is a projectile or not, no, we cannot call rocket as a projectile. Why? Because it is propelled by the engine of the rocket during its journey. So other force is acting on the object, hence we cannot call it as a projectile. So an object thrown obliquely, neither horizontally nor vertically, into the space is termed as projectile, provided no other force should act on it except the force of gravity. Now here we have considered an object thrown with an initial velocity u at an angle theta with the horizontal direction. Resolving the initial velocity u into its rectangular components, we get u cos theta, the component of velocity acting in horizontal direction, and the component u sin theta acting along vertical direction. So initial velocity of the projectile in horizontal direction is your u cos theta, and initial velocity of the projectile in vertical direction is u sin theta. Now the motion of the projectile in horizontal direction and vertical direction are independent of each other, meaning the component of different physical quantities acting in horizontal direction has no effect on the component of different physical quantity acting in vertical directions. The motion of the projectile in horizontal direction and vertical directions are independent of each other. This is the meaning. Now, let at any instant of time t, the projectile is present at point P where its coordinate is x and y. So, at time t, the projectile is at point P. So, in time t, it has covered a distance x. It has covered a distance x in horizontal direction and distance y in vertical direction. Now, our aim is to find out what kind of path is followed by the projectile. We have to find out the equation of path followed by the projectile. The path followed by an object is also known as its trajectory. So, equation of trajectory of projectile. Now, considering motion in horizontal direction. So, in horizontal direction, initial velocity is u cos theta and no acceleration is acting in horizontal direction. Time is t, and during this time it has covered a distance x in horizontal direction. So, writing equation of motion s is equal to ut plus half at square, you can write x is equal to uxt plus half x t square. So, x is equal to u cos theta into t. So, what we get is t is equal to x by u cos theta. Before we proceed ahead in this discussion, we all must keep in mind that the projectile has no acceleration in horizontal direction, so its horizontal component of velocity will not change during its entire journey. It will remain u cos theta throughout the journey. And in vertical direction, acceleration due to gravity is acting on the object in vertically downward direction. So, because of this acceleration due to gravity, the vertical component of velocity goes on decreasing, and at maximum height it becomes 0, and thereby it starts increasing, but its direction is opposite to that of the previous one. So, when question is asked what is the velocity of the projectile at highest points, it will be u cos theta. What is the acceleration of the projectile at highest point? It is equal to acceleration due to gravity. So, these are the some important points which we have to keep in mind during our discussion. Now, considering motion in vertical direction, initial velocity is u sin theta, acceleration is minus g, distance covered in time t is y. Now, writing equation of motion, s is equal to ut plus half at square, that is y is equal to uit minus half gt square. Now, substituting the values, we get y is equal to u sin theta t minus half gt square. Now, from equation 1, substitute the value of t. You will get u sin theta into x by u cos theta minus half g x square by u square cos square theta. Now, u gets cancelled, sin theta by cos theta is your tan theta, so it becomes x tan theta minus g by 2 u square cos square theta. Here tan theta, once the object is projected into the space, theta cannot be changed, so it is a constant quantity. Similarly, here g by 2 u square cos square theta all are constant. So it can be further written as y is equal to ax minus bx square, where a is and b are the constants. A is equal to tan theta and b is equal to g by 2 u square cos square theta. Now y is equal to ax minus bx square is an equation of parabola. So this expression clearly shows that the path followed by projectile is parabolic in nature. So question may be asked, so that the path followed by projectile is parabolic in nature. So we will have to write up to this point. Now next is time of flight. The time for which projectile remains in air is termed as its time of flight. Time of ascent, time which particle takes or projectile takes to reach the highest point from the point of projection, that is your time of ascent. Time of descent, time which projectile takes to reach the same level of projection from where it was projected, from the highest point. And time of ascent is equal to time of descent, because while time of ascent, the acceleration due to gravity is opposing the motion of the object, and during time of descent, the acceleration due to gravity is increasing the speed of the object. Hence, the two motions are equivalent. See, when it is going in vertical direction, when it is moving upward, at that time g is acting in downward direction, so its vertical component of velocity goes on decreasing and it becomes 0 at highest point. So here g is opposing the motion. Now after highest point, the speed of the object from 0, now it is increasing with the acceleration g. So motions are equivalent. So time of descent is equal to time of ascent. Both are equal. So if t is capital T is your time of flight, then t is equal to t plus t, time of ascent plus time of descent. Time of ascent is your t, time of descent is your t, so total time is t plus t, that is 2t. Now considering motion in vertical direction, v is equal to u plus at, so you can write vy is equal to ui minus gt. So at highest point velocity is 0, initial velocity in vertical direction u sin theta minus acceleration g, so minus gt. So from here we get t is equal to u sin theta by g. Now substituting its value here, we will get t is equal to 2u sin theta by g. So this is an expression for time of flight of the projectile. Next, maximum height. The maximum vertical distance covered by the projectile is termed as its maximum height. So to find out the maximum height, we have to consider motion in which direction? What do you think? It must be in vertical direction. So considering motion in vertical direction, Vy square is equal to u square minus 2gh. So at highest point, vertical component of velocity becomes 0. Initially u sine theta minus 2gh. From here we get h is equal to u square sine square theta by 2g. So this gives you the expression for maximum height of the projectile. Now range. What do you mean by range? The horizontal distance covered by an object during its time of flight is termed as its range. So here range is the distance covered in horizontal direction, so we have to consider the motion of the object in horizontal direction. So write r is equal to u cos theta. We are using the equation s is equal to ut minus half at square. So distance covered is your r, u cos theta, time is your time of flight, the distance covered by the projectile in horizontal direction during its time of flight. So time is time of flight. Now in horizontal direction there is no acceleration, so it will be 0. So what we get is u cos theta. Now substitute the value of time of flight here, 2u sine theta by g. So r becomes u square sine 2 theta by g. Using the formula, sine 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta cos theta. Now for a given velocity, the range will be maximum when sine theta has its maximum value, and the maximum value of sine theta is 1. So sine 2 theta is equal to 1. So from here we get theta is equal to 45 degree, and the expression for maximum range is your u square by g. So when an object is projected at an angle 45 degree, it will cover maximum horizontal distance. That is why athletes are advised to throw discus or javelin or ball at an angle 45 degrees so that it can cover maximum horizontal distance. Now sometimes question may be asked, so that for two complementary angles range is same. So let the two complementary angles are theta and 90 minus theta. So for theta, range expression is u square sine 2 theta by g. And for sine 90 minus theta, it is u square sine 2 90 minus theta by g. So to bring it inside the bracket, you will get sine 180 minus 2 theta, and which is equal to sine 2 theta. So r dash it becomes u square sine 2 theta by g. Now from equation 1 and equation 2, you can see that right hand side of both the expression is same. That is, for two complementary angles, the range is same. So whether object is projected at an angle theta or at an angle 90 minus theta, for both the angles, it will cover the same horizontal range. So for two complementary angles, the horizontal range of particle will be the same. Now sometime question may be asked, what is the angle between the velocity and acceleration at highest point? So you know, at highest point the velocity is u cos theta, and it is in horizontal direction because vertical component of velocity is 0, and acceleration due to gravity is acting in vertically downward direction. So here the angle between the velocity and acceleration is your 90 degree. Thank you for watching.